How does addiction affect the community? The health and safety of our neighborhoods is determined by the strength and quality of our families. The success of our community is related to the health and safety of our neighborhoods. When our families are strong and our neighborhood relationships are inclusive and cohesive, these neighborhoods have the strength to resist disorder and criminal activities. When substance abuse is allowed to permeate our neighborhoods, it damages the families and robs the neighborhood of the capacity to resist crime and disorder. What we have seen in the early stages of opiate addiction, the user begins to steal from family members and close acquaintances. These crimes have the effect of tearing families, friendships, and neighborhoods apart. Oftentimes, they're difficult to prevent from the police perspective, and oftentimes they're not even reported to the police. As the addiction progresses, the user is alienated from the family and friends. The severity of the criminal activity increases, including home invasions, robberies, prostitution, as well as property crimes such as counterfeiting, retail thefts, and burglaries. I became concerned in the fall of 2012 when I noticed a spike in our Uniform Crime Reporting Part 1 crimes. We had a remarkable over 100% increase in robberies, 89% increase in burglaries, 40% increase in aggravated assaults, and almost a 20% increase in thefts. Our department determined that acquisition pressure related to substance abuse, particularly opiate addiction, was largely responsible for the spike in our UCR Part 1 crimes. We gathered that through interviews with suspects who were arrested, and we learned that the drive to acquire drugs motivated them to rob, burglarize, and steal. At the end of the day, all we had was people in jail. When they got out of jail, they were right back to the problems that started to begin with. If you look at this thing as a balloon, if enforcement pushes on one side of the balloon, it squeezes out the other side. Without a balanced approach and pressure on all four sides of that balloon, we were just basically spinning our tires. Our enforcement pillar action plan, number one, is to restrict the supply of legal and illegal opiates. We restrict the supply of illegal substances to the area by targeting persons and organizations responsible for the importation of the substances. Since April 2010 is when we opened our take-back program in the Green Bay Police Department. April 2010, we have collected 10,000 pounds of unsorted pharmaceuticals and over-the-counter medications. This past summer, I met with representatives from Prevea, Bellin, and Aurora, some of the major players in healthcare in our area, to talk about developing best practices for prescribing opiates across the area prescribers. The second key here is to strengthen law enforcement intelligence developing and sharing. Strengthen community safety by responding to crimes and community disorder associated with legal and illegal substances. And the final thing is to act as the funnel, to funnel users towards voluntary or involuntary treatment. At the Green Bay Police Department, we have identified a number of folks that we know are related to opiate abuse. Either they're people who showed up and they were arrested, or we arrived at a service call and found somebody that was in possession of the paraphernalia, or they admitted that they have a problem. About 62% are male and about 38% are female. The ages, about 80% are between the ages of 19 and 39. And then there's another segment, about almost 12%, that's between the ages of 40 and 49. In race how it divides out in race, about 75% are white, about 14% are Native American, and about almost 9% are African American.